This is Goyle. He's the first Illuvial I ever caught in the Illuvium overworld. Pretty much every single team composition I ever make involves Goyle in one way or another, and with that I play a ton of Aegis. Even some compositions that should not make sense, we put Goyle in there anyway, and try to make an Aegis comp out of it. Example A, here in this video, let's try and make a Shock Aegis comp. The one thing that I had to note really quickly about this Shock Aegis comp is that it's not always available. Only now is the opportunity that I truly saw it potentially becoming a thing. Because as of this moment in the game, there is no fire empath or air bulwark units. So you have to rely on finding either the fire Tipo or the air bulwark and have the weapons go in your favor. We see here I do get the Ember Buckler, I pick that up rather quickly, and I do start stacking up on Rye. As well as Lynxes, because it's me. It wouldn't be me if I didn't pick up Lynxes. And I also give my Rye a fighter buddy here with the Lesser Monk here. But it didn't take long to find a challenge. We do have 13th currently on the ranked leaderboard, Never Lose, as my first opponent. But thankfully, of course, as you may have saw, there is legendary augments in this matchup. So getting the Berserker's Flurry did allow my Lynx to have a bunch of extra attack range and be able to keep itself safe with that Restorating Impact Reactor. We take that one, I do manage to find Ryalu now, so my Raya is all evolved. I move all of my augments over to Ryalu, and as you can see, it is just absolute destruction, as my Ryalu is able to keep a very nice safe distance and just keep swinging away. Going into the next round, we do find one more Lynx and get my Stoic Lynx currently in the front line. Do a little rearrangement, and off we go again. Another solid fight in our favor. Now, after fighting the Wild Dokas, we did get the Resonating Pulse Reactor. This is the augment, the fusion augment, that lets you get bonus attack speed every single time you use your Omega. Now, Ryalu absolutely loves this because it has a very, very short charging Omega, and it gets to really fire these things off quick. There's over and over again popping off its Omega, to the point where the longer this goes, just you'll see this thing is an absolute machine gun of flurry of fists, so to speak, able to take down the polar bear there in that instance as well, and just absolutely become unstoppable, especially since it has that Berserker's Flurry for a little extra range. But as of right now, I feel kind of like we're on cruise control. I don't even have my Shock online, just my Illuvials are so strong as of this moment compared to the majority of the field anyway, that I'm able to hold my own quite nicely. I'm staying at level 5 because with all these Shock units, a lot of them are tier 1, so there's no point in really truly leveling up very quickly, because the higher level you are, the harder it is to try and find those tier 1 units. Now at this point, I actually opt to switch my weapon to the Flame Warden Staff to become a Fire Empath. This will allow me to bond myself to my Air Groko later on, once I have Shock online, make my Ranger Shock as well for that extra little bit of firepower. If I would have stayed on the Ember Buckler, I would have needed to go for the Vermilia later on in this game. Right before fighting the Wild Bulwarks, I do find the final Lynx necessary. Hello, beautiful. That is a Stoic Ember Lynx leading the squad now here for me. This is absolutely perfect because I know personally, at least in my experience, Shock teams have a harder time in terms of tank. So being able to have an incredible Lynx like this is going to save me dearly. Now this is where things start to change though. After picking up an augment, we do find our final Rye. We do have Riley online, which means we do have the potential to start getting Shock. We do get our Archos in here, Goyle is here, and now with the Ranger as an Aegis unit as well, we can supercharge this Riley and just watch this thing go nuts. It has a little bit of extra bulk now being able to be Aegis, but of course it has all of the damage, attack speed, and tankiness from its cohorts as well, as this Riley will go absolutely nuts. Up against Never Lose, we completely rock the world here with this Shock squad. Job's still not technically done just yet. Optimally, I'd love to be able to get a 3rd or even level 4 of Shock, and of course one of them is the Tiru, but it's kind of contested right now. Toriel currently has a Tiru as well, so I'm not as easily going to be able to find them. And then the other Shock unit, of course, is the Squiz. That is a tier 5 spellcaster, which at this level, I am very unlikely to find. But as of this moment anyway, we are able to absolutely tear through the field, just cruising on through win after win after win. We get a health augment, and then in regards to the weapon upgrade, we take the one where my Omega will end up removing resistances from the unit's hit. This is more so to help out Squiz later on, once it starts spellcasting. But I did see an opportunity arise. I did pick up a Flare and a Ace, and this is now allowing me to have 6 fire, which is just going to increase the damage output there of my Riley just that much more, since it now takes into max health into effect. We then pick up a little bit of crit chance with our drone augment, and now we're up against Toriel, who's also doing a fantastic job so far in this lobby. Only lost to me the one time, everyone else she's been beaten, so looking like it's going to be a little bit of a top battle here between Toriel, Never Lose, and myself. But we do have to get through this battle first off. Do level up right to 10. I am very, very scared of that ram fight coming on through and destroying things, but I was at least able to find a squiz finally, and that's kind of why I pushed a level, just to essentially get that third shock online, even though I didn't necessarily have a good place for that squiz right off the rip, and it was a close fight, but we do manage to take that one. Going up against Never Lose, we did get Octius leveled up now, so we're going to be able to get some additional magic damage. It's finally going to start ramping up, but I didn't really get much in terms of augments for Octius, so you'll see as this fight goes on that I'm kind of stuck giving it attack damage augments when I would much rather be giving it Omega Power. But this team is not invincible. Toriel showing us that right here, right now. I did not necessarily have the best tank line up in the front near my Riley, so as soon as the Crunk went down, it was complete open season for the Furiox to just fire away onto my Riley. It does go down. With the ram fight taking out the back line as well, I do find my first loss. I continue to have a hard time with augments here. I go for a fusion augment for my Octius, but I still don't find anything in regards to energy. These blue augments are a welcome change though, because I do need to get some more tank, putting it all onto my Lynx currently to try and make that the main tank of the squad. I'm also able to find another Crunk, so I'm well on my way to a Blotto, and then I am one squiz away from finding a Fisto. But with Never Lose knocked out, now it's heads up Illuvium here between Toriel and I feel like we're gonna slowly but surely start to get to know each other pretty good here, as once again, she just tears me a new one in that fight. That wasn't even close. I do try something maybe a little bit desperate, but a little bit cheeky. Once I was able to get the Ace leveled up to Arctase, I did actually rebind my Lynx to my Ranger so that I not only have Shock going on, but it's Shock Inferno. I give it a shot, but as you can see, it did not quite hit the mark. A bad loss now would be game over, so now it's time to start rolling, finding a few headies, and we do find the fully evolved Fisto. Keep on rolling again, and we get the fully evolved Blotto as well. That is 3 Aegis now online, all being fueled directly into that Riley. I rebond my Air Groko back to me, so we do have Shock Aegis back online. Need this win right here, right now. A couple funny things happened in this fight as well. With the charm happening onto my Mephisto, it actually moved it out of the range of Toriel's ram fight, so the first cast did not go through, and it was an extremely close fight. My Mephisto finding a couple of resets, my Riley as well, still rather healthy, but I am getting outnumbered. A 1-on-4 here, but this is a very healthy Riley, and once again, it is just moving all over the place, making it so hard for Ember, Toriel's ram fight, to actually get a lock on to my Riley, so we do stop the bleeding and get the win now. Immediately after that win, we find the last T-Roo we need. TB Ruko is here. That is 6 fire, 4 shock now available here for my squad. I make one more last minute change and give all of my tank augments to my Blotto. Toriel found a nice upgrade for herself as well, though. Dr. D Noodle, the Scoriox, is here, opening fire, but does not have the protection right here, right now. So again, we're going to be able to take this one. And with that, we are all tied up at 31 health apiece. I do find the last flare I need to get my own Seer. A nice little backline tank here for myself. But as of right now, it's not going to be necessarily the most helpful. Magma online now here for Toriel. And now, once again, we do see Ember just chopping away with the Fisto. The Fisto is doing a pretty decent job of holding on for at least a little bit. Does eventually fall, though. A very, very close fight once again. But my tank, my Blotto, is going to be able to hang on and just keep Ember away so that my Riley can continue to go nuts. We now have Toriel within kill shots. However, Toriel's team is just getting even more scary. That is going to be Queen Reina, the Monarch, now online, right there, right next to Dr. D Noodle. And of course, because it's now Monarch, it is now Phantom. It jumps to the other side and gets an amazing carpet bomb onto my front line, and it evaporates them extremely quickly. Alongside the help there of Ollie the Rip Lance, it just shreds through my front line, leaving my Riley exposed. Just completely open fire to both Ember and Queen Reyna's assault, and that is going to take me down one more time as my Seer tries its best to get the job done. Not going to be able to hold. It's all come down to this. Next round wins. We're both completely out of credits at this point, and I know that my Epheso's been getting pressured by Ember the ramp fight over and over again. I make one final move. Here we go. This round is the one that'll decide the entire match. Let's see how it goes. Last minute move here to move the Epheso into the corner is going to keep the ramp fight out of the way, allow Epheso to get some casts off. So far, it's not looking too bad, but here comes the Scoriox. It is going to end up going down, actually. The Arctes does take it down, but now it's actually the Riley's going down. The Epheso's going down. Queen Reyna is going to absolutely take down the damage alongside Ollie, and with that, that is going to be Toriel getting the win in this one. That was probably the best back and forth match I have had or seen in a long time. Especially since the new change where Ranked has turned into Leviathan, where this isn't just any old Illuvial that you're using on the battlefield. These are your Illuvials. I was bested by Toriel today, but it wasn't just her. Dr. D Noodle the Scoriox, Ollie the Riplance, Queen Reyna the Monarch, Robert the Blazonite, Scarlet the Singe, and Ember the Rampfight. I look forward to seeing you on the battlefield sometime again soon, and we're coming for you next time. As for my team, to have such a creative team here with my Shock Aegis squad, being able to push so far and have such an incredible back and forth there with Toriel, I can't be mad with second. That was just incredible. And with that, that's how I took a Shock team, turned it into Aegis, and held my own in a very strong fight in a ranked matchup. If you enjoyed the video, please do subscribe to the channel. I have many more tales like this coming along through. Maybe you can even get some inspiration for some of your ranked games or tournament games sometime down the line. But at the end of the day, this was a lot of fun. It was an awesome matchup. I love being creative, and I loved the back and forth battles here. And as you can see, I don't mind making videos where I end up being the loser. That's a-okay to me. So, once again, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.